Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
I'll talk first.
You talk first.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show, where it is one of those days. Let me tell you. Hey, I am your co-host, Mr. Stephen Boster, along with the one, the only, the most magnificent, splendorific Mr. Mike Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
Okay, we are running behind because it is my fault. Just taking responsibility, everybody. Lots of things happening in my world, and we are behind. But I am glad that you are here because we are jet-setting our way to a review of Top Gun Maverick.
I feel the need for speed.
Yeah. I was surprised we didn't get that in here, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So first off, everybody, we kind of want to talk about kind of what's happened this week in geekdom news and things that we're enjoying and stuff like that. Mike, you posted on our page, and thank you for doing that, made me aware, the artist that did not the artist, the Long Halloween.
Yeah, it was the artist.
It was the artist.
Yeah. Yep.
Passed away this week, and
Tim Sale.
Yes, thank you. So, thanks for posting that. I saw that, and I was like, "Wait a minute, that sounds familiar." And then the connection to Long Halloween, because everybody, we did a big old thing on the Long Halloween and the comic book and the movie.
The animated movie,
the animated film, and stuff. So, thanks for posting that. And anything else that you wanted to chit chat about this week of
well, since Roger posted it, we might as well mention it. So there's a rumor. I don't know if it's true because I haven't really seen official sources. I didn't see anything from Warner Brothers or DC or I don't know. Anyway, there are rumors out there stating that Joker 2 might possibly have Harley Quinn featured in it, played by Lady Gaga. I have no idea how I feel about that idea. I've never watched any movies with her, so I don't know how she is an actress.
She is actually a good actress.
Okay.
We watched the Gucci film, the House of Gucci, and
that sounds like something I wouldn't watch.
Right. Well, yeah, Kelly was interested in it. She loves those kind of documentary type films or life story films, drama films. And Adam Driver was in it. And I was like, well, let me see what else he can do, kind of a thing. He's actually a really good actor outside of, Star Wars, which, for his role, if people gave him slack for being Kylo Ren saying, oh, you can't act or anything. No, he can act. Some of that may be direction or, that kind of a thing. But
I don't think his acting was all that bad. I just am not fond of the character that much. That's
the character
all.
In the story.
It has nothing to do with his acting. He did what he did because he's directed that way. If you don't like it, okay, fine. But I don't like it because one, I don't care for the character that much. I mean, I like Kylo Ren. I don't like Ben Solo at all. Can't stand him, and he shouldn't be in the movie. But I digress. All
right. So Adam Driver was good, but we're really talking about Lady Gaga. Zig, his acting was fine. The Lady Gaga does have some acting chops. I will give her that. I don't think she's not super fantastic, but she is decent. She's a decent actress or
she
actor.
Did a
I don't know
Star
how you
is
say that
Born
nowadays.
Too.
What'd you say, Megan?
She did A Star is Born too.
Okay.
I missed that. I wanted to see that, and I missed that. So, did you see that?
I watched at it, but
Okay. All right. That's okay.
But it was good.
Okay. So, but her to play Harley Quinn, excuse me. I don't know. And I'm going to reserve judgment until they start filming.
Well, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, wait a minute. So
Okay.
I don't mind reserving judgment on her, but when I heard the second part of the announcement, I said, I'm done. There's no way I'm going to, if this is true, there's no way I'm going to go see this movie. The second part of the announcement is it's going to be a musical. I'm like, I'm out. I check out. Done. Goodbye. Forget it.
No, that's stupid.
Exactly.
There's
exactly.
No way. If you didn't do the first one as a musical, the other one's not
right.
Gonna be a musical.
You know, I'm just saying that's what the rumor is. I said I don't know if it's true because I have not seen official sources. But if that's the truth, I'm done. I quit. I'm not going to go see it. There's no way. I'm out.
Right.
Tag me, bring in another wrestler. Because I'm done. Stick a fork in me, I'm done. Now, I have no problems with giving her a chance in the part as Harley Quinn. That's fine. I'll do that. I'm up for that. Because, again, I've never watched any of her roles, so I don't know how she would be. I hope she does well if that's the case. But if they make it a musical, nope, I'm out.
Yeah, well, I can't see it being a musical. That's about the stupidest thing I've heard. Because one, the first movie, the first Joker, it was such a unique film. It really was.
Agreed.
I don't see it transitioning into a musical. That's just rumor and conjecture. And unless they have musical things in there for Harley Quinn, because it happens to be Lady Gaga playing her, but
see, now even that
jive with the story,
right? Even that I think would be too much. I mean, okay, you're going to bring in music. Every movie should have music. We've said in the past that the soundtracks to Star Wars is the oxygen of Star Wars. Wholeheartedly agree with that. Music adds to a film, but if you are just bringing in music just because she is a musician, I think that's the wrong way to do this. So I'm hoping that's not the case either.
I don't think I'd have an issue if it was like one song, because you're talking like Fabulous Baker Boys with Michelle Pfeiffer, who else? Jessica Rabbit, where there's this song. Even the beginning of the second Indiana Temple of Doom, you had Kate. Oh gosh, I can't remember her name. Wife of Steven Spielberg. Now that's where they met. But she did a singing number at the beginning. Anything goes.
I'm okay with that as long as it is done as Harley Quinn and not Lady Gaga. Okay.
Yes, agreed.
I mean, if it's just Lady Gaga and a music video for Lady Gaga, no, that's going to be horrible. But again, I will reserve judgment till we get official announcements. I'm just saying at this point, by that rumor, if that happens, I'm done.
Right.
Anything goes in Chinese. Zig,
that's what she sang in Temple of Doom.
Oh, okay.
It was in China.
I'm sorry. You kind of veered off there. Oh, Steven, are you there? Oh, he's having sound issues.
The audio went out for just a second.
Okay.
It's one of those days, everybody.
Did your brother bring you that new computer yet?
Right.
You need to throw that one out the window.
I do need to throw that one out the window.
I'll tell you what, I need to come to Montana once you get your new computer, and we need to have a office space moment and just, take that computer outside and whack it with some baseball bats or something.
Right. You can find my stapler.
I had a red stapler. Anyway.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Roger, thanks for bringing up Joker 2. I appreciate bringing that. Mike, it is good. Everybody, I have not talked to Mike all week.
Nope.
And so we'll touch base about stuff. So we're having this is kind of fun to sit there and go, Okay, what'd you think about this? What'd you think? And we're doing it right here at the virtual coffee table. So we're so glad you're joining us. So if you guys have anything that you guys want to comment on, please do it so in the chats. We'll get that. And woo! All right. So there was something else I was going to bring up, but I can't remember what it is now. So
Penguin
I guess
fell
we'll
off
just
the
kinda
iceberg.
Penguin fell off the iceberg big time. So, yeah. All right, everybody. So we are here today to discuss Top Gun Maverick. Both Mike and I saw it over the last week and a half. I didn't see it opening weekend because of the, everyone's like, let's see how it is. And then people started talking up the hype and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, really?
Be totally honest, when it first came out, I had no intentions of going to see it.
Really?
And I am a fan of the original Top Gun. I do love the original Top Gun. I will admit I've been soured on Tom Cruise. I think he's a nutball, and I just have not really went and seen a Tom Cruise movie in years. So I had no interest in this film. But you said you were going to go see it, and I went, okay, I guess it means we got to do it for the podcast if Steven's going to go see it.
We don't have to always do that, but
it gives us something.
Like, I'll go see it.
It gives us something to talk about. But then I started, paying more attention, and I started seeing how everyone was just raving about this film. Even some close friends of mine are like, oh, you got to go see this movie. And I'm like, okay, all right, fine. And then I saw that Val Kilmer returns, and I was like, all right, you got me intrigued now, because if you don't know, Val Kilmer has beaten throat cancer, but he's had a tracheometry put in, so he does not speak, in the way that he normally did. So I'm like, wait a minute, how do we have Val Kilmer in this? I'm intrigued. Then I heard that Tom Cruise actually pushed to have Val Kilmer in it. I said, all right, you got me. I'm interested. I want to go see this film. So I did.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I do have one funny story before we start.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So,
go ahead.
A few weeks ago, I think it was before we even talked about going to see the film, I got a friend on Facebook. I went to grade school and high school with him. And he messaged me out of the blue, and he goes, Have you seen Maverick? I had no clue of what he was talking about, okay? Because I really didn't hear anyone refer to the film as Maverick. I know it's Top Gun Maverick. I just heard everyone say Top Gun.
Gun.
Right.
Yeah, same here.
Not to mention, he's a gearhead. He's all into cars. So my mind immediately, when it's him, I immediately go to cars. And I'm thinking, oh, did they re-release the Maverick? Because, they're re-releasing, they've re-released the Ford Bronco. They've re-released, or they've redesigned the...
Right, you weren't thinking money.
Right.
Movie. You were thinking, a new vehicle.
Right, I was thinking cars. So I'm on the internet scrounging to find out, okay, what's the Maverick look like? Because I have no idea what it looks like. I was never really a big fan of that car, but, I was like, okay, I want to see what it looks like if Rich is talking about this. And then all I could find was apparently Ford's done a new Maverick pickup. But I'm like, there was a car too. So I was so confused, and I messaged him back, and I go, "Are you talking about the pickup that Ford re-released?" And he laughs, and he's like, "No, I'm talking movie Top Gun Maverick." And I was like, "Oh," he goes, "I figured if anyone's seen it out of my friends, you would have seen it." And I was like, "No, I haven't seen it yet." But it was so funny because I could, I was like, he's a gearhead, and I told him that. I go, dude, I really thought you were talking about the car because you are a gearhead, And he laughed. He goes, I would have thought that too. So that's my funny story about this.
That's good. That's funny and stuff. Oh, do you hear my dogs going crazy in the background?
I do.
Sorry.
You got a lot of things going on at your house, though.
I have a lot of stuff happening. Yep, by golly. Yep. Yes, sir, Bob. So if you hear me mute all of a sudden, just know that I'm probably yelling at the dogs, like I'm about to do right now.
So Steven's trying to quiet the dogs right now. All right.
I was using some colorful metaphors. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'll bet
No,
you were.
All dogs here were woof, 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 woof. Where I'm like, beep, 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 beep.
All right. So,
Oh,
Top
gosh.
Gun, Maverick,
Top Gun. All right. So what's our score? What's our scoring system? What do you want to do?
F-18s.
F-18s. I love it. Great
course.
idea. Okay. I give it a strong 8 out of 10. Strong 8 out of 10 F-18s. It was a good movie. It was simple. It was not overcomplicated as far as plot goes.
Well,
kind
no.
of thing, which I was very thankful for, because really I just wanted a good popcorn muncher film. That's what I went in expecting, and boy, did it deliver. It delivered.
I agree.
So would I buy this digital or Blu-ray or something? I don't know. It's worth seeing in the theater. I will say that it is worth seeing in the theater. But then would I buy it on Blu-ray or buy it on digital? Probably not. Not saying it's not a good movie. It's a good movie to experience in the theater. But once you've seen it, you've kind of seen it, if that makes sense. All right. How about you?
Okay. So going into this film, I already told you I really did not want to go see it. And then all the things I kept hearing about it made me interested. I said, okay, I'm intrigued now. I went and seen this movie. Man, this movie's fantastic. It is a great movie. I will give it 9 F-18s. I really enjoyed it. I love the imagery we get in it. You know, the planes are fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful scenes. Beautiful shots. And boy, they did some incredible work for this too. And we'll talk about that a little bit as we go along.
Okay.
Val Kilmer returning, that was a huge plus for me. I like his character. I like Val Kilmer as an actor. I've been a fan of several of his films.
Batman.
Well, not Batman. That's the movie we don't refer to. No, I'm talking Tombstone, and I'm talking The Doors. Tombstone's probably my favorite performance from Val Kilmer. I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah, I'll be a Huckleberry.
But then The Doors, man, that's probably my second favorite, performance by him.
Would you believe I have not seen The Doors?
Oh my gosh, The Doors are incredible. I love The Doors. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so yeah, I will give this a 9 out of 10. I've heard a lot of people say that they actually think this is better than the original film. We rewatched the original film after we got home, after we saw the new one. And
yeah, what'd you think?
I still think that the original film is the better one. Maybe the action sequences are better in the new one, only because of the advanced technology, and the way they filmed the new action sequences, I would say. But as a story altogether, I kind of think the original's better. There's just, I'm going to go back to no real memorable lines in this new film. We don't have I feel the need for speed.
That's right.
I was
kind of expecting it, but we didn't get it.
We don't have the, she's lost. She did that. I hate it when she does that. And then they go into she's lost that loving feeling. We don't have that moment. We don't have anything
Those
near
kinds
that.
of things.
This might be a little a little dirty for us, but the scene where he goes into the bathroom with her, and she's like, "What did you think? We were just gonna fall down and do it here on the floor?" And he goes, "No, I had this counter more in mind." I mean, those kind of moments were not in the new film. and those are the things I really, really love about the original film, and the camaraderie between him and Goose are great, and I just felt those were a few things that were missing. But again, the action in this way makes up for it. It's just awesome. Love it. So I will give it a 9 F-18s.
Well, we did get Tom Cruise running. Like in every Tom Cruise film, he was running.
Well, and we got a shirtless scene of him.
Wow, that's true. We did. That's right. We got a shirtless scene and we got him running. So because Tom Cruise, film.
Because we got the I don't know, the weird double football.
Whatever that was.
Yeah, I don't even know how in the heck that didn't make any sense to me, but okay. Yep. I mean, I get what he was doing. What he was doing made sense, because like he said, I'm building a team here, and they need this. And he was right. That is something they needed. Might have been a little bit of wasting time, especially considering they get a week cut off of their training.
Right.
Which just, that was for to make the film more intense and
yes,
so on and so
time
forth.
Structure, time bound. Don't mess with my time structure. Everybody knows I have time structure issues. That's why I get a little stressed out about times and stuff. So
the Station C.
That was in our discussion about Val Kilmer movies.
Salton C. Okay. Sorry, I missed that, Zig, when you first posted. I apologize.
Yep. So. We were discussing shirtless. He was running. Action was good. Story is not as good as the first one. I'll agree with you. The story. I mean, I like the story because it was just simple. It wasn't overcomplicated. But you're right.
So is the original. The
The
original's not overcomplicated either.
Well, that's true too. But sometimes sequels get overcomplicated, they didn't. They kept it nice and simple. I like how they paid homage to Goose.
I did too.
Because they had Miles Teller play his son, which I thought was good.
he even had the mustache.
Right.
Right.
And
great.
The piano playing.
Yeah, he did the piano playing. Cool. That was cool.
And the tension between him and Maverick was believable. It was understandable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
At first I was like, well, I don't know. But then when they talked about how he delayed his career by 4 years.
Just so everyone knows, we're in spoiler territory right now.
Oh yeah, spoilerific territory. Everybody dies at the end. I'm just kidding. But where he delayed his time or he delayed his career by 4 years or whatever. And you find out that was because of his mother's dying wish. And so that paid homage to Meg Ryan's character. What happened to Meg Ryan's character?
Right.
And finding out that she had died.
Well, and I thought it was honorable what he did too, because it was her request that he did not become a pilot. So Maverick does his best to not allow that to happen, which sets his career back, which he is ticked with Maverick, which is, it's understandable.
Understandable. It's a believable scenario.
But Maverick did it to honor, Goose's wife. Meg Ryan's character. And I get it. I think it makes complete sense. It works. It works perfect. So, that was good writing. I like that.
It was good. The part with
I did like the bar scene too. We have the opening bar scene, which kind of paralleled
the other one. You got to see the egos in the room.
It's like poetry. It rhymes,
right?
Well, I mean, but it paralleled the original because you had her coming in the original, and they had no idea who she was, and then Tom Cruise starts hitting on her, Maverick starts hitting on her, and everything, and then with this one, we get Tom Cruise coming in, and nobody knows who he is, and then he gets
thrown out.
Yeah, he gets thrown out, which they're all cheering and everything, and then when he walks in for the training. For the introduction for the training, they're all like, "Oh crap!
Whoops, whoopsie!
He's our CO here."
Yep. Now, I did hear there was a parallel that in the first movie where they talked about the general's daughter, that Maverick and the general's daughter, that's who the girl is in Maverick.
Yes, because
the general's daughter.
They're in the scene in the original one, because we'd rewatched this right after we got home, and I had forgotten all about it. But there's a scene where Goose and I always forget what his wife's name, Meg Ryan's character, and Tom Cruise, and then somebody else is there. Oh, I think it's the other woman, which I can't remember her name.
Kelly McGillis.
Yes, character? I think it's Kelly McGillis too. And they're talking.
McGinnis.
I don't know. Anyway, they're talking about Maverick's previous escapades, and one of them happened to be with a admiral's daughter.
Admiral's daughter, yeah.
Right? Yeah, he was an admiral. And he kind of crashed and burned with all that, and so on and so forth. And she is that character. So I thought that was good. I thought it was a cool way to introduce a love interest for Maverick that's still tied with the original film, but wasn't her. So, yeah.
Right.
I thought it worked. It was good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My favorite part, though, and this is because you told me about it, you talked about it, was with Val Kilmer.
Oh, man.
And
tearjerker, dude.
It was good. It was such a good scene, and the camaraderie that you got to see that occurred with them.
Yes,
kind of a thing, and then, but didn't you said, what was it you said earlier? It was the whole thing about his voice.
So yeah, Val Kilmer he beat throat cancer actually, but he had to have a tracheometry. I don't know if I say that right. Tracheotomy put in. So, he has to cover the hole for himself, for him to talk, and it comes out kind of, like a drive-through.
Oh, going through a drive-through food service thing or something, right?
Right, exactly. I would do the joke, but I feel it's a little tasteless, so I won't do the joke right now. Okay, right. Maybe another time. I want to be respectful. So anyway, so I was intrigued when I heard he was going to be in it, because I'm like, okay, how are they going to do this? And granted, I didn't know how big his part was. I didn't know what it entailed and everything. And again, spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film, you might want to stop and watch the film, so on and so forth. Anyway, he says, or he most of his response is, conversing with Maverick, he actually types on the computer, so he's not talking. And then at the end of their conversation, he actually talks, and you actually hear Val Kilmer. Well, you sort of hear Val Kilmer, because what I found out is Val Kilmer did a documentary called Val, which is available on Amazon Prime, which, if you're a fan of Val Kilmer, have not seen it, I highly recommend it. It's really good. It's a very good documentary. And it is narrated in his own words, but recorded by his son, who sounds very much like he does. So how they did it in the film was they recorded his son saying the line, and then they kind of interspersed it with previous works of Val Kilmer to get it tweaked to sound much more like Val Kilmer. So I really liked it. I thought it was good. They did a very good job. It's too bad he couldn't be in it for a little bit longer, but I get it, and the scene made sense, and it worked perfect for the film. So
yeah, it was well done. It was a great scene. Yeah, it really was. And you're right. It was kind of a tearjerker, kind of a thing. But and they gave it. It was part of the plot. It wasn't. I didn't feel like it was shoehorned in just to get him in there.
Oh, it definitely was not a forced scene at all. It was perfect.
Yeah.
because it fit the writing. Because you find out Val's Iceman's been saving Maverick his whole career. You know? Maverick doesn't change at all. I mean,
right?
He's a captain he becomes a captain at the end of Top Gun, and he's still a captain by Top Gun Maverick, which is what 30, 40 years later.
Right, but I thought they did a nice job explaining it because he wants to stay in the air, right?
Yeah, that's what. Well, I mean, it's partially because he wants to stay in the air, and it's also partially because he's a rebel. All the stupid stunts that he pulled off in Top Gun, he just continued his entire career, and Iceman continues to save him every time. Because he would have been thrown out of the military years ago if it hadn't been for his buddy Iceman. And, which is an unlikely friendship because they were rivals, but they become friends at the end of Top Gun because of, the mission and all that happened and everything. Yeah. Again, I like the story. I like the way it played out. They did a really good job, I thought, on the story of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, the joke was great because Val Kilmer looks at Maverick. Iceman looks at Maverick and goes, "Who's the better pilot?" And Maverick goes, "Don't ruin a good moment."
Let's not ruin the moment. Or go. Yep.
It was a great joke. I loved it.
It was really good. It was well done. Yeah, it was good. One thing that I think I had an issue with the film, or it seemed to be quirky, and maybe you can help explain this to me, is the whole thing is the beginning of the film is they're getting rid of the Top Gun program, or they're going to, they make this statement about going to drones.
Yep.
Unmanned drones now.
Yep.
And there's this whole mission about having to do this thing. And my brain went to, well, couldn't an unmanned drone do that? That mission? It was so...
I don't know. I mean, I work in flight training actually. I don't do the training or anything. But I work in the industry, and there's still trust me, there's still plenty of military trainings. It's not going away anytime soon. Not soon. Now, I'm not saying that statement doesn't have truth to it, because it does. There are some missions that they are replacing human pilots with drones. And we've actually seen it, in the past. We've seen that. We've watched it play out in recent wars and such. So that's not an altogether false statement. But to say that the Navy is just going to do away with the Top Gun program, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. I think that's stretching it just a bit, just for the drama of the film. That's all.
I just thought it was kind of funny. They were talking about doing drones. I thought, well, could this mission have been done by a drone to prove their point?
Maybe, I don't know. You would think they would have also practiced with drones to see if it could be done, because it may be just the maneuvers you wouldn't be able to get. Because there were some pretty amazing maneuvers that they had to pull.
There was some off-the-chart maneuvers.
Right, exactly.
It was very cool.
It was extremely cool. In fact, that's part of the best part of the film, honestly. I have no idea if a drone could have done that strike or not. But for the sake of the film, it wouldn't be any fun if you had a drone doing it, would it?
Right.
There's no drama in a drone flying through there. A drone's not going to pass out due to the G's. And
Yeah. I'm sitting there watching that. And I'm sitting there going, man, I think I'm going to pass out just them trying to do the thing against the G's. I'm like, man.
Okay, should we get into that a little? So talk about the real aspect of filming this movie. There's some great YouTube videos, by the way, on the filming of this movie. And they actually, when you see them hitting those G's and you see their faces contorted, that's all real. That is real stuff there. Because they are actually in the fighter pilot. Granted, they are not actually flying. They're in the second seat.
They're in the second seat.
They have a true professional pilot who's flying the jet. But all the G's that they experience in the film, they actually experience. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. It was some neat stuff. And so they had to have these cameras mounted into the cockpits and stuff to get all the footage, and each pilot would take an actor out, and they'd fly for like an hour or so to get the certain moves and looks and all that good stuff, right? I don't remember which actor it was, but one of the actors was talking because he said they set up this rig in there, right? And he goes, as we take off, I'm to hit the start on it and start recording. So he's in, the actor's actually in control of the camera, which is not a usual thing. And he said that there's a particular button that if you accidentally hit, it will delete the entire recording. He goes, yeah, I did that. So I had to redo the sequence. I can only imagine how much that cost.
Right?
Because it ain't cheap to fly those jets, man.
Right.
Right.
Well, who would put the button on there so easy to forget?
Right.
You know?
I was telling somebody that last night, and they're like, well, that was a stupid thing to put on there.
Right?
I don't know how the equipment works, so I can't defend that. So
yeah, we have no concept on the equipment. So yeah,
I thought it was a great story, though.
It's a good story. I like it. I like it a lot.
Anyway.
Oh gosh, that's funny. I'm just thinking back to the film and stuff. The action sequences were just. I did not go back and see the first Top Gun movie, but I will tell you that I will remember these action sequences for a while.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In Maverick, I just was like, oh my goodness, it was easy to follow. I knew what they were doing and where they were. If that makes sense, like when they were flying and stuff. Okay, they're in this part of the cavern, or they're in this part of the cavern, or this is how close they are. Okay, now they're going up the mountain. Now they're going down. Now they're doing the big steep climb to get out. I knew exactly where they were in the film, and the way the film set that up, I thought was fantastic. Because in the other Top Gun, I was like, okay, they're just flying around, they're dogfighting. I don't know what else is going on beyond that. But this one, you knew exactly where they were. You knew exactly what was happening and why. And you did have some dogfights, but you knew they were on their way back to the ship. So it was great to follow. It wasn't, how like in the James Bourne movies, especially the first one, the Bourne Identity. That was when shaky cam came into play. Everyone was like, God. Shaky cam with it. I hate shaky
Well, wait a minute. I would say shaky cam. I never watched I've not watched the Bourne movies. But I'd say shaky cam actually came into play with Blair Witch Project, which is why I hate that film. Ugh. Horrible movie.
That found footage film, right? Yeah.
Geez.
Yeah, that it wasn't good until like the last scene, and even the last scene wasn't all that great. It's the concept of you kind of know what's going on, but you don't know what's going on because it's so shaky, kind of a thing. I don't like it personally. Right. This movie did not have any of that. I knew exactly what was happening, when it was happening, how it was happening. You could tell. Then the way they mapped out, here's our journey, here's our map. I knew where they were in the story. So, and even on that. So I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that aspect of this film, and being able to not have shaky cam action sequences. So I enjoyed that out of this film.
So let's talk a little bit about the planes. So there were 6 different planes used predominantly in the film. One was a P-51 Mustang. Now, according to this article, it was a P-51 Mustang, but I think that's incorrect because I think it was a trainer plane that was that Maverick was restoring, and then he flew at the end of the film.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I think that might be incorrect. I have to look that up. F-14 Tomcat, which is what they used as their fighter jets in the original Top Gun, which was cool because it showed how obsolete that jet has become. And I mean, that was a top of the line jet
at the time.
At the time, and now it's kind of like, oh, that's an old dinosaur.
Right.
It was just kind of funny.
That was great in the film. Yes. Yeah. That was really good.
So then there's the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II. Now, I'm not sure if that's the ones they were actually flying. It might be. Because I thought they were flying the F-18s, which is the Super Hornet, which I believe is the same jets that the Blue Angels fly.
Okay.
But the cool thing was the first jet you see is supposed to be the hypersonic Dark Star jet, which is the one that Tom Cruise, that Maverick, is test piloting.
Yes.
Fantastic scene, too. I love that scene. I love the jet. The jet is incredible. Unfortunately, the jet is not real. It is actually based on a Lockheed Martin SR-71, which to me looks
the Blackbird.
Yeah, looks like the
SR-71
right.
Blackbird.
Looks like the Blackbird, but they tweaked it, and made it look a little more futuristic, I guess.
By the way, when you and I were in church youth group and stuff, a guy at our church at that time was a pilot for the SR-71 Blackbird.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. My dad would, not that he could tell me anything.
Well,
but,
no, of course not.
Even the guy couldn't tell him, but they would have conversations about the, just in general, nothing specific about.
He couldn't talk.
He can't say anything,
right?
And all.
That's one of those situations I could tell you, but if I did, I'd have to kill you.
I'd have to kill you. Right. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So it was.
Yeah. But, man, I love these jets. That's probably the highlight of the film.
It reminded me more of the stealth bomber than it did the SR-71 Blackbird.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be
like a smaller, like a jet version of the stealth bomber.
I've heard stories. I've heard stories about people who've been on missions in that stealth bomber, and man, those were not fun missions at all. Because there's no, the stealth bomber is a big jet and has lots of room in it.
Huge.
And they have to travel for miles and miles and miles, like across the world in it, and that takes time. As fast as the jet goes, it still takes time. And so pilots would actually have to take turns because you can only fly for so long. And I've heard stories that they would need to rest, and they actually have to get so much sleep. Yeah, they put a cot in there for them to sleep on. Yeah. And they're like, it's not well adjusted and well, fixed down, and it's a nightmare. It is a total nightmare.
Interesting.
You would think as much money as they put in those jets that there would have been something better for them pilots.
Right? Some kind of memory foam bed or something they could just sink into.
Something. Oh my gosh. I mean, they could have done better than that.
Right.
That's insane. So that just goes to show you what our pilots go through,
Yeah. I appreciate our Air Force, I'll tell you that. So,
well, Air Force, Navy,
yeah.
Because this movie's all Navy, so it's not the Air Force.
In the Navy, where you can sell the 7 Seas in the Navy. What's that? That's Village People.
Oh, there was another scene. You just reminded me. When he's on the boat with her, and she's telling him what to do, and he's just like, I have no clue. And she goes, come on, you're in the Navy. And he goes,
Right.
I land on boats. I don't sail them. I thought it was a great statement. I loved it.
Yeah.
I land on boats. I don't sail them.
Right.
Which would make sense. I mean, yeah, just because he's in the Navy doesn't mean he knows anything about a boat.
Right.
He's a pilot. That's total different there. Totally. Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh, that's good. Well, I overall this was just an incredible movie. Again, I'm going to say it again. It's worth seeing in the theater. Some people maybe like that's a different buy for them to have it, kind of a thing. But
Roger just asked if it was a musical. No, I wouldn't go see it if it was.
Right.
Oh my god.
No, the only musicals you'll watch are Young Frankenstein and Monty Python.
Sure. Young Frankenstein and Monty Python were excellent musicals. I would highly recommend those. Great. I did enjoy Wizard of Oz, and I did enjoy Fiddler on the Roof. Those were both pretty good. I like those. But
and he's slowly coming over to the dark side of musicals. I love it.
And I think it was Oklahoma. That was not bad.
Oh, Oklahoma, where the wind comes. Another good one is Big River. It's that's a good one.
No clue. No clue.
Yeah. Look out for me. Oh, muddy water. Sorry, that's but I love musicals.
Hell no.
Hey,
Grease. Roger said Grease.
I hate Grease. Oh my
I love
gosh.
Grease.
I hate that movie.
That's funny.
That ranks right up there with Batman Forever
Rogers.
and Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And
Guys
not
and
Guys and
Dolls.
Dolls. No.
Yeah,
That's Brenda, not me.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is not a musical episode, everybody.
No.
We're not talking musicals.
No.
All right. So you know how I like to do the 10-second skip, and watching stuff. So I've been watching The Boys.
Wait a minute. You
season
figured
3.
out a way to do the 10-second skip in the movie theater?
No, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be good?
Oh, now wait a minute. Before you go on to that, real quick,
Yeah.
I just want, because you had commented about would you buy this film? Unfortunately, I will not buy this film because I haven't bought the original. And I am a big fan of the original. So
Right.
I did used to have the soundtrack years ago on cassette tape.
Oh, that was a good soundtrack.
It was a really good soundtrack. I can't
Yeah.
say much for this soundtrack. I don't know. Well, there was some repeats. We had some callbacks
There
to the
were.
original, which was beautiful. Loved that.
Yeah.
But the soundtrack as a whole, I don't know. I had to look at it. But anyway, sorry. I just wanted to interject.
Oh,
that real quick.
no. We were just talking about musicals. In the latest episode of The Boys, there was this musical part. And I'm like, seriously? You're going to some kind of musical interlude in this? So I just said 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. I skipped the whole thing.
Yeah, I started skipping after the second episode altogether. I just skipped the entire. I wasn't a big fan of it. I just didn't get into it. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's
And
a little edgy. It's edgy for me.
I get the premise of it, and
I love the premise behind it.
yeah, I think that's cool. I just didn't care for it. That's all.
Right.
Okay.
I hear you. Nope, that's all right. That's okay.
To each is his own,
All right.
right?
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, we kind of veered off the we squirreled there for a little bit. Sorry about that, but we're wrapping up Top Gun Maverick. Let us know what you thought about the film. Would you buy it on Blu-ray? Would you buy it digitally and stuff?
Oh, one other thing. Did
Yeah.
you think Maverick was going to die?
I wasn't for sure. I didn't have any preconceived notion that they'll probably kill him off. And even
Well,
the
going
film didn't seem
into
to
going
believe
into
it.
the film, I didn't have that notion either. But as the film progressed, there was a point I thought he was going to die. Actually, I thought they were going to kill him off.
Yeah, I didn't, only because the movie really did center around him. I thought it was like, maybe he's going to be behind enemy lines or something. But
Well, he was. He did.
He was. Yeah.
Because him and Rooster steal an F-14 Tomcat.
Right. Right.
And Rooster's like, wait a minute. How do I do this? I don't know. Your dad did all that stuff.
Right.
He's like, I wasn't
Right.
in charge of that. That was your dad, man. Figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I thought was great, you know. Yeah, I loved how it put them two together and forced them to work together, and then it improved their relationship. But
it did.
I really thought they were going to kill Maverick, and you know, I figured he'd go out in a blaze of glory. Which, if he would have died, then he would have went out in a blaze of glory, had a hero's death. I think it would have been appropriate, and it would have worked just fine. Mm-hmm. Now, then when we thought Rooster was going to die, now that I had a problem with. I'm like, wait a minute. You killed Goose in the original. Now you're going to kill his son in the new one? That's wrong. Right. You know, I would have been super upset if they would have done that.
Agreed.
So I like the way it worked out. I thought they did a good job with that. So
yep, absolutely.
And hopefully Maverick finally gets a promotion. At this point, he needs one. You've only been a captain for the last 40 years.
Right.
Jeez. It's funny. That's funny.
Okay.
Anyway, okay.
All right. Well, wrapping it up, everybody. I want to say thank you, Mike. Thanks for letting me be a little bit late today. I do apologize. And we are, if you want all things Two Geeks, check out our website, twogeeksmike.com. twogeeksmike.com. That's kind of our hub for everything, where you'll find all about us. Also, if you want to support us, just help us pay for the stuff for the show. That's really what we use it for, is our Ko-fi page, kofi.com/2geeks, or you can get there from our website too as well. We've got a tier system. And Mike, do you want to talk about what we just released for everybody?
Oh yeah. So we just recorded last week our third classic sci-fi installment, which is Get Your Paws Off Me, You Damn Dirty Ape. None other than the original Planet of the Apes, starring Charlton Heston. And we had a good time recording that. So, we did. Get on Ko-fi, subscribe to us over there, and if I forget which level, one level you can actually watch the video. And then I think the medium level, you can get the audio, which we have a private RSS feed that you will get. And you can pick up the other 2 episodes and our upcoming one that we're about to do.
Very exciting on that one. What are we doing for that one again? I'm very excited about it.
I think we're going to diverge a little bit from sci-fi, but you know what? We make the rules for this show. We can do whatever we want, right?
We make the rules.
We're going to go Jason and the Argonauts, which is a classic kind of fantasy adventure film, and it is a favorite of mine. I love Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh, I love this movie. Yes. I may go back and reread Edith Hamilton's Jason and the Argonauts story that it's based on.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I did classical mythology in college, and we went through a lot of myths, and we did do Jason and the Argonauts. Actually, I wrote my paper on a comparison contrast on the book and the movie.
So what you're telling me is you're going to have all the notes this time.
Probably not.
Okay.
Just find your paper.
I got to find it. I know. That paper is like 20-some years old. Oh, my goodness. Wait a minute. 30.
Right.
Oh my god.
I was just gonna let it slide and go, okay. I'll let him think he's younger than he really is, but okay, whatever. So you're the one that said it, not me.
Yep. I did say it. All right. Well, with that, Mike, I will let you sign us out. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Megan. Mike, it's all you, my friend.
All right. With that said, over and out, and I feel the need for speed. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
May the force be with you.